Thank you for watching another Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video. I would like to welcome you all back to our channel. If you have been a long-time subscriber, you're one of the current 1,200 subscribers, I would like to thank you for sticking around. And if you're a first-time visitor, I would like to thank you for watching this video. Today, I am back on YouTube because I feel like this video is much needed. I'm going to be doing a three-part series on how we put together our 2021 annual budget. As most of us have dealt with the pandemic for the past year, um, our finances have been turned upside down, and a lot of people really need to take a in-depth look at their finances and their personal situations. And in this video, I'm going to detail everything about our personal finances, how I put our budget together, how I stuff our envelopes. We're going to get a real intimate look at getting together a 2021 annual budget. It's never too late to start. We're early in the year and you can start right away. So I would like to welcome you all for watching the video, and I would like to thank you all for rocking with Prep for so long, 12 years. I think it's been on YouTube. So thank you very much, and let's get into the video. Today I'm going to share how I set up my 2021 household budget. Our 2021 budget series will be created in a three-part series. As you can see here, we have our three categories that will be in my video series for my YouTube prep family. The first part of my budget category is the categories itself. The second part, I will show you real numbers that we use day to day. And then the third part is envelope stuffing. As I created this three-part series video, I really considered not posting it at all. It's difficult to decide, to be honest, and share real numbers because of the judgment, jealousy, and hate for no reason that posting your personal life on YouTube can inspire. And honestly, for me, I don't think the hate will be from the total strangers. As of today, I think I have like 1,200 YouTube subscribers. Some of these subscribers have been day one subscribers. They have been with me since 2011 when I first got on YouTube. I think the most hate I was worried about, the hate, the judgment, the jealousy, would be from friends and family who may see this video. Like many of you, I have some friends and some family who pray for my failure. Let's just keep it honest and real. And then you have those friends who won't offer any support. So I'm kind of dealing with a situation, the kind of people, they don't want to hear you're doing good, but all ears to hear about your failures. And them seeing my financial numbers and the fact that I do have debt will, for them, be some type of failure. But for me, everybody got debt, and the fact that I can pay it is a success in my book. So I decided, when I talked to my daughter about it, she was okay with it. We decided to post a video anyway to be helpful. And I figure if my situation can be a blessing to someone's family preparedness plan, it's worth the judgment, the hate, the jealousy, whatever you want to call it. So if you're interested in learning the details about this topic, about our family financial plan for 2021, keep watching. If this is your first time watching a Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video, let me explain how our action task system works. When I set up Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness back in 2011, maybe even earlier, it might have been 2008, 2009, I set it up on a basis that I was getting my emergency preparedness plan together based on action tasks. I think in order to accomplish anything, you have to come up with a plan and then act on it. I then came up with these categories where everything I did for my family emergency preparedness plan had an action related to it. And the categories we have here that I'm currently operating under are 11 action tasks. Today's financial preparedness falls under action task 1, make a plan. And that's why you see that particular action plan highlighted on this slide. It gives you an opportunity to take action on what you say you want to do. If you're coming up with these plans and you're, just talking about it and not being about it, then it does you no good. The purpose of prep is to show you how I'm taking action, and maybe that'll inspire you to take action. Some of the other action tasks we will go over as time goes on are listed on the other side. But today's action task is make a plan. And the first thing you have to do to get your life in order is to get your finances in order, because you really can't do the other 10 tasks without that first plan action task being completed, and that is to make a plan. And today, we're going to talk about your financial preparedness plan. We are making a plan for your finances. So it is very important that you understand that these videos are tied to specific action tasks, and we are going to get that done today in a three-part series in explaining to you how I put my plan together for my family finances for the annual finances of 2021. Now, let's get into more about the three-part series. So the first part 1, which is the part we're going to do today, is the details of each of my categories. Mortgage, gas, light, phone, any bills you pay, car note, the details of the categories. That's what goes into the category section, and I'm going to go into depth with you all, be honest, clear, transparent, in the hopes that it will help you think about what categories you need for your family budget when you put your own individual budget together. And since we are so early in the year, you can take the bills that you did in January and kind of reminisce what you did back in October, November, December to put your categories together. And maybe that'll help you get started on your financial freedom plan as well. So this part 1, which we're going to do today, is categories. Okay, so the next topic or the next part in the series is part 2, and that's going to be real numbers. And again, like I said before, I'm going to go into the details of our real numbers. And when I thought about going into the real numbers, it was kind of hard. I wasn't sure if I wanted to share that, but I'm going to share that. So part 2 is going to be our actual numbers that we use for our bills. And so hopefully that transparency and that honesty will help you create your budget and get started in step 1 of getting your financial freedom together. Okay, so the last and final part is going to be part 3, and that's going to be the envelope stuffing. So in part 3 of the envelope stuffing, we're going to get into detail of our sinking funds. And we're going to show you everything in detail, how much we put in each envelope each month, the seeking funds, how we determine the denomination of dollars to get from the bank. I'm going to take you to the bank with me as I go through that process of getting the denominations from the bank. And then you're going to come back home with me and we're going to stuff some envelopes together. And I'm going to show you how I do that in great detail. So that's the third part, envelope stuffing. For our household budget, we set up an Excel spreadsheet. For us, a planner doesn't work because we make changes to our budget and our sinking funds as life happens. And as you know, life throws you curveballs, you lose a job, you get married, things change. Just life happens. So adjustments need to be made as life changes. And for us, a paper book, one of those pretty, budget planners that I have pictured here with the stickers and all of that, that don't work for me. I don't have time for an arts and craft book. I need something that I can update my numbers in real quick, something that I can change as needed, something that's easily transferable from one system to the next, and I don't have to haul around this big binder. Plus, I'm not into the stickers and the arts and crafts part of budget planning. For me, I'm a more practical person, and it takes long enough to do all the things I have to do during the day. And placing stickers and all of that in some planner book, that's not for me. So what I do is I use Excel, and I'm gonna walk you through my Excel spreadsheet in detail and how I get that done to plan for my 2021 annual budget. Budgeting is an essential part of our family emergency preparedness plan. I am by no means claiming to be a financial expert with millions of dollars in the bank. That's not who I am. I'm an everyday working class person. Um, I guess the what we are considered is the working poor. I said poor with a P-O and not with the O-R because I can't afford the O-R. You'll never hear me say things like I'm balling over here. I have lots of money in the bank because I don't. I have lots of debt. Well, I have debt, not lots of debt, but I have student loans, and most people in the world have student loans. I owe a little back taxes and a little federal taxes. And those are my three debt categories. And once I get those paid off, I'll be completely debt free. Um, what you will hear a lot of is that we're grateful for what we have. I know that a lot of families are struggling during this time. I know a lot of families are just trying to put food on the table. As we watch the news, we see the bread lines. As we watch the news, we know the evictions are coming because they cannot stimulate forever. And so I'm putting these videos up to help families who might be in a financial struggle during 2021 to really help them get their finances in order. Because, as I said, the stimulus has to stop at some point, and when you can't depend on the government to send you $1,400 or $600 or $2,000 or whatever they decide to do, you have to be able to be self-sufficient and get your finances through. And I hope this um, video serves that purpose. And we all know, through God's grace and mercy, that faith without works is just dead. So you have to put in the work of creating a budget and sticking to it, not necessarily sticking to it, but creating a budget and sticking to it as much as possible because life happens, so you might have to vary. But just put your budget together and make sure that you have your priorities in order. And that's what we're going to talk about next, our priorities. The first thing I did was to assess my top priorities for 2021, and I only have three. The first one, as you see here, is to keep a roof over my head. No one wants to be homeless or without a house during a pandemic and and in the winter. we're in the middle of winter. You have a pandemic going on. You're going to have an economic collapse, and you have the winter weather months. So it's my first priority is just to keep a roof over my head, have somewhere to lay my head at night, have heat to turn on, and have somewhere to be inside where I can social distance safe in a pandemic. So that was one of my top priorities in 2021, and I only have three top priorities, but this one, number one, is my first one, to keep a roof over my head. So as you can see here, my second goal in 2021 is to earn enough money to pay my bills on time. For me, this is extremely important because when you don't pay your bills on time, you actually incur more debt. They add on late fees on top of your bill, and it just becomes a reoccurring cycle where you can't get out of debt, or keep your credit report in good repair. So for me, earning enough money to pay my bills without incurring additional debt, not using any credit cards or obtaining credit cards or charging charges or my everyday expenses on credit cards. I see a lot of that on the news. People are strapped in these tough financial times. The stimulus is not coming through, the rent assistance is not coming through, and people are not getting their unemployment the way they should be. So families are strapped and turning to their credit cards to help them make it through until whatever works out for them. But I strongly encourage you and I pray that you don't have to do that, because once we can start earning enough money to pay our bills without debt, then we can truly be on a journey to a debt free lifestyle. And that's my goal for 2021, or my second goal for 2021, is to pay my bills on time without incurring any additional debt. So let's talk about my third goal. So my third goal in 2021 is to simply work on becoming debt free. Like I mentioned before, I have state back taxes and federal back taxes that I owe. I hope to be able to pay off my state taxes in 2021 and my federal taxes at the beginning of 2022. And then I have my student loans. And just because I graduated in May, my student loans are fresh and new, and I hope to have those paid off by 2025 if possible. I'm not doing Dave Ramsey's debt snowball method at this time, but after I pay off my state taxes and my federal back taxes, I plan to take that money and apply it towards my student loans and to chop at those as much as possible. I'm going to be throwing any extra coins at that student loan debt. I just don't want to take debt into my retirement years. When I get to retirement age, I would love to be debt free and just, work, living in my house, and retired, empty nester, doing what old folks do. And I don't know what that is yet because I'm not at that retirement age yet. But when I get there, I know I want to be debt free when I get there. So that's my third goal for 2021, to be debt free. So just to recap, I have three goals for 2021. One is to keep a roof over my head. Two is to earn enough money to pay my bills without debt. And my third goal for 2021 is to pay off all my federal debt as soon as possible. And with those priorities set and in my mind, I use that to create my income and expense categories going forward for my budget. Everyone is in a different season in their life. Budgeting, creating an annual financial budget is a highly, highly personal task. Everyone's income, expenses, and family sizes are completely different. Surely, a family with 6 kids would have a much higher food budget than my family of two. Our budget takes some tweaking as life happens. And the more people you have in your family, the more likely that life will happen to one of your family members. The main reason for using an Excel spreadsheet versus a cute notebook is that you can plan for an entire year and you can see that entire year at a glance rather than month to month based on the annual budget. And when I create my annual budget, it allows me to consider monthly charges, monthly bills, quarterly bills, biannual expenses, and annual expenses. And tracking our expenses on this Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes removes most of the surprise expenses that pop up. Um, I have a good idea of what my bills are because I've been paying bills for quite a number of years with all these gray hairs on my head. So I kind of know where I want to go with my bills and my budget. And I'm going to show you that next. But I want to talk to you guys about the expenses you won't see on my categories list because, again, I'm in a season of life where I'm almost an empty nester. My child is grown and I'm getting closer to my retirement years. So my expenses will be different from yours, but make sure that you put in or take out what does not apply to you. So let's take a minute and talk about what you won't see in my budget. Again, I'm in the later season of my life and I don't have any young kids. My one child is grown. She's self sufficient and independent. And a lot of categories that other people may have, I just don't have at this point in this season in my life. I don't have any young kids. I don't have any grandkids at this point and I don't need to incorporate school expenses, school field trips, school lunches, those type of things, daycare. You won't see that in my budget because that season in my life has passed. Another important category you won't see is credit card debt. I don't have any credit cards at this time. I have zero credit cards, and I am a true believer in no credit cards. If I can't afford to pay cash, then I just simply can't afford it. Um, I don't believe in living above my means. I'm not trying to front or stunt on anybody like I'm doing the biggest and the baddest because I'm not. I struggle just like everybody else. And, you know, I have my good months and my good years. And sometimes I have terrible years and terrible months. So it just all God's grace and mercy at this point. And so you also won't see anything for pets. I don't have a dog, cat, goldfish. The goal is to simply ensure that I can eat, that we can eat. Owning a pet is a very, very expensive venture. You know, although pets provide excellent companionship, they are expensive as hell to feed. You got to feed them, you got to vaccinate them, you got to groom them on a regular basis, you got to take them to the doctor, you got to get them shots. Those vet fees and pet boarding fees and all that, that can add up. And I just do not have room in my budget for that type of thing. Another thing you won't see in my budget is anything to do with cigarettes and smoking. And I know a lot of people smoke cigarettes. Some people smoke other things, but I don't do that. Some people smoke cigarettes. They smoke enough cigarettes per month where it comes up to $200 or $300 a month. If that's you, you need to budget for that. And you might find that if you let go a little of the smoking of the cigarettes, you might actually have some money to create some savings. So that's what you won't see. Another category you won't see is tithing. Now, don't get me wrong. I strongly believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. However, I do not believe in seed tithing. The way it's taught in churches today, and the way it's preached from the bully pulpit, as I like to call it, is that you have to pay God in order for him to do something for you. And I don't believe that. God is all powerful. God is the Alpha and the Omega. And God is the first in the land. You talking about a man who changed water into wine. You talking about a man who made a blind man see. You talking about a man who walks on water. You talking about a man who brought somebody back from the dead. So if he can do all that, God don't need my money. So I tithe. I do believe in tithing, but I don't tithe to a church. So I believe in tithing. I do believe you got to give some money back, you got to donate, you got to help others. But I do not tithe to a church. I don't believe in that. But I do believe in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And I do not believe in that seed faith tithing. I think the churches have become corrupt. You got all these pastors out here with these Learjet planes, and they got two or three jet planes, and their congregation is broke. I even seen a story on the news the other day about these pastors out here asking for people who are on unemployment to send in their stimulus checks. These people can't even eat. And these pastors, these same pastors who are flying around in these jets, are begging their constituents, their followers, to bring the little they have into the church under the guise that the seeds you plant into God, He will double it. God already knows my needs. And if He thinks money is to be for Lillian, money is going to be for Lillian, whether I pay a seed to a church. I don't believe in seed tithing, not at all. So you won't see that on my budget. Another category you won't see that I actually took out the budget is vacation. Now, me and my family, we normally take a 1 month road trip, sometimes 2 month road trip around the United States. And we go to various places. Our last road trip, we traveled for 3,700 and something, 90, 3,798 miles, something like that. And we had a good time. We were gone for like a month and 2 weeks. But looking at my newly acquired back federal taxes and um, back state taxes, I need to get those paid off. So until I get my federal taxes and my state taxes paid off, honey, we will be staycationing. I am not going to be out here trying to go on vacation where I owe the federal government and state back taxes. I'm going to pay that first and handle my business, and then I'll take a vacation. So, like I said, I hope to pay off my state taxes this year and my federal taxes at the beginning of next year, and then I can talk about staycation. I mean, a vacation. And this also comes at the perfect time because we're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm not trying to go stay in nobody's pandemic, COVID fit, COVID ridden hotel. I'm not going to do that. So you won't see any vacation plans on my budget. Now, if you that is a goal for you, you better make sure you put that in and you plan for all those needs for you and your family to go on vacation. But as this season, this year and next year, my goal is to get debt free. It's not to go on vacation. All right, guys. So let's start discussing the categories that I have for our home budget. Like I said before, your categories will vary, but these are the categories I have for my season that I am in my life. So first, we're going to start over here under column A. In A2 through A4, you'll see that represents my total income. So I have listed employment income, stimulus income, and other. Those are the things that make up our total income that we are receiving at this time. The next category is pre-tax deductions. These are the deductions that come out of my paycheck pre-tax. And as most of you know, you can deduct your medical and dental, vision, and all of that health savings and retirement out of your paycheck pre-tax. So the categories I have for my total pre-tax deductions are medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance. I contribute to a health savings account, my retirement account, life insurance, and accidental death and dismember insurance. These two insurances I get through work. So that makes up my total pre tax deductions. After that, I have my payroll tax. So after you pay all your medical and dental and things right up in here, then they take out your payroll taxes from your weekly, biweekly paycheck, however often you get paid. For me, that's federal tax. I live in a state where we have state taxes. Some people they live in Texas and Florida, in Montana where there is no state tax, but I live in a state that we have state taxes. So then Social Security tax and Medicare tax. And those four categories right here make up the total tax that is deducted from our budget. So after you deduct all of that, then I start paying off my debt. And contrary to Dave Ramsey's way of doing it and other budgeting ways of doing it, they pay off their debt after they pay their bills with what's left. Unfortunately, my debt is federal debt, so I cannot bankrupt it. I cannot get rid of it. I'm going to pay it. I'm going to take it to my grave or I'm going to pay it in my retirement. So I am trying to make this a number one priority. And plus, one of my goals for 2021 is to become completely debt free, far as owing anybody a quarter, a nickel, a dime. So I am prioritizing getting my debt paid off in 2021 and 2022. I think it's going to take me to 2022 to get all my debt paid off, and it's probably going to take me to 2025 to get my student loans paid off, as I just graduated college in May. So in my debt section, which is all federal debt, I do owe some federal back taxes. I owe state back taxes, and I have, of course, my student loans. My state taxes, I know for sure I'll pay off this year, and hopefully, once I finish paying off my state taxes, I could take that money that I've allocated for my state taxes and apply that to my federal debt to bring that down as soon as possible. My student loans, it's going to take a while, probably like I said, to 2025 to get my student loans completely paid off. But I do plan on snowballing a bit of the federal tax after I get that paid off into my student loans. So the sooner I can get completely out of debt, the better. And that is my priority. And I do it in this order because that's what works for me. Again, like I said, your house is going to be different and everybody has to set their budget up according to what fits their needs. This is how I set my budget up according to what fits my household needs. And my number one priority is to get the hell out of debt because debt, it makes you a slave and I am tired of being a debt slave. All right. So the next category we have after that is our everyday living expenses. And we have starting with the mortgage, property taxes, yours may be rent, everybody needs a place to live. The homeowner's insurance, some people may have renter's insurance, and then you have home maintenance, the things that you have to do. Your furnace goes out, you have to cut your grass, you have to buy a new lawnmower, you have to get a new snow blower, you have to get gas to put in that snow blower and gas to put in the lawnmower if you do that. So there's a lot of home maintenance thing, a tree fall in your yard, how you gonna get that cleaned up. It's a lot of things that go into home maintenance. And anybody knows a home know what that's about. So if you own a home, you want to make sure you have that in your list of categories. Then you basically got your light bill, your gas bill, cable, internet, home phone. I have an old fashioned home phone that plugs into the wall. I do not think you should only have a cell phone. Towers can go down at any time, and you're going to need a way to communicate in an emergency preparedness plan. So we have a home phone. Then we have our city water, our waste management, which is our trash and recycling, and that bill comes quarterly. And so does our city water. It comes quarterly as well. Then you have your cell phone, car payment, insurance. You need gas to wash the car. Some part of the months we wash the car ourselves. Part of the year, I'm sorry. Part of the year we wash our car ourselves, and the other part of the year when it's cold, when it's below weather, negative, whatever, we'll take our car through one of those gas station drive-through car washes. And then you got your car tax, your license renewal for your car, your tag renewal for your plates, and then life insurance. And this life insurance is not the kind we get from work. This is a separate life insurance policies that we have for ourselves. All right. So then after I get through with all of my basic housing needs here, I add that up and then I move on to everything I need to live on a daily basis. So after that, we have our groceries, meals out, any alcohol. We have our household needs. This household includes cleaning supplies, rock salt for snowstorms, buying shovels, those type of things. Um, Anything we need if we need lawn fertilizer, that type of stuff, that is all coming out of this household budget. If we want to get a new faucet for the kitchen sink, that's coming out of this household budget. It does not come out of home maintenance because home maintenance is different, because home maintenance is for fixing shit. This right here is for fixing broke shit. This right here is for decoration, furniture, whatever it is, cleaning supplies, it comes out of this household budget. Then we have our personal care, which is haircuts, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, lotion, butters, that type of stuff. Then we have clothing, and then dry cleaning, laundromat, and asbestos. Even though we have a washer dryer in our house, there are some things that we have to take to the dry cleaners and or to the laundromat. I have a king blanket that goes on my bed, and that cannot fit into our washing machine. I have to take that to our local laundromat and put it in one of those jumbo machines they have. And so I wash it and dry it at the laundromat, and I budget for those things here. Then we have any out of pocket medical expenses, and that includes prescriptions, anything like that, which is different from um, this helps. Actually, it's the same. Huh. Let me fix that. Out of pocket and medical expenses can come out. I'm going to delete this row right here because that actually could come out. That's actually the same as the HSA. So I have that up here. So I could save myself a little money on that because this is what the HSA is for. It's for all those medical bills that I would pay out of pocket. So I'm duplicating there. So I took that out. Okay. And then we are planning to move. We're going to get a new home. So we have to have money allocated for our moving budget. And then last but not least, miscellaneous. And we do set money to aside every month because shit happens. And we put that in the miscellaneous fund. All right. And then after all of our basic needs are totaled up, what's left goes into what I call our sinking funds. Stuff that we like but don't necessarily need to live. Some of these things on here we need, like our driver's license. But, you know, driving is a privilege. I tell people that all the time. Driving is a privilege. They have buses that run, depending on where you live, they have buses that run. Some people even have trains, but driving is a privilege. So over here, we have what's left, which are our sinking funds. And in this categories, we have a AAA membership, our Costco membership renewal, Sam's Club, Mercedes driver's license renewal, my driver's license renewal. I can spell that right. Let me fix that. And then Mercedes and my glasses and contacts. We both are blind as a bat, can't see out the other eye. So then we have New Year's, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, birthdays, back to school. I am planning on back to I am planning on going back to college again. Like I said, I graduated in May, but I want to pursue another advanced degree. But I haven't decided on when I'm going back to school. I kind of need a break from it for a while because with everything going on with the coronavirus, with us getting ready to move, us starting all these businesses, I can't balance all of that mentally right now. So I'm putting school on a back burner, but school will be coming back into the play. So I'm going to leave it in a space for it in our budget. So when it comes back, um, we'll have a space for it. I don't need like pens and papers and highlighters and things like that. We have that, but it is because of my degree, there's always something I need that is not covered by that. So we'll see if I go back to school and when. Then we have Labor Day, my birthday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas. And then I have a category for big home furniture purchases. Um, then we have our streaming services, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. So those are our categories that we currently have for our budget. So there you have it. I hope my categories have helped you get an idea of what you should use for your categories. If you have not created a financial annual budget for 2021, I strongly encourage you all to get ready. I strongly believe that we are going to experience two things: hyperinflation, because interest rates are at 0.25 right now and they cannot stay at 0.25 forever. At some point, the Fed chair, the president, the government, they're going to have to raise the federal interest rate up. And at that time, you're going to see a high increase in the price of interest rates, and that's going to be reflected in the food inflation and everything else you need. So I do believe we're going to experience some type of inflation in the United States. The second thing I really believe is that there is going to be some type of Great Depression, mini Great Depression, new Great Depression. We already in it. No one just wants to acknowledge it. Coronavirus has thrown this country for a loop. If you asked yourself last February, did you think that we would still be dealing with this virus this February? You would say no. But ask yourself this: it is February 2021. Would you believe that in 2022 we will still be dealing with this virus? And if your answer is yes, then you need to come up with a financial plan, because the longer this virus holds on, as long as the economy is not back fully open, and I believe it should be open safely. I believe the reason that we are in the situation that we are in is because people didn't do the right thing. So I encourage you all to put your financial plan together. Get your house in order. This is what this is on our action task list. Get your house in order, and that includes your financial plan. So I want to thank you for watching another Providing Resources YouTube video. Go to the website, it's back up. Um, I think I still have it in maintenance mode, but it'll be back up shortly. So go to the website. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can also follow me on Twitter. Have a great day, and I'll see you in part two, where we discuss the real numbers behind all this budget. And I hope this is a blessing to at least one person. If it's a blessing to you, please leave a comment in the comment section. I welcome your comments and I welcome your feedback. But please do not leave a comment about tithing. I'm not going to change my mind on that. I am set in stone on that tithing situation, and I do not need you to preach the Bible to me, because I read it every day and I know what it says. So have a good day. Leave your comments down below, and thank you for watching another Providing Resources for Emergency Preparedness YouTube video. Have a blessed day. I don't even know why I'm tripping over my words. Have a blessed day, y'all. Take care.